Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. I hope you're doing really well, guys. Amazing clip yesterday. Again, big shout out to UAP Norway. Fantastic. I am going to go over the clip again at the end of this and just deep dive that short clip because I really want to show you guys why I believe it's a UAP. I mean, obviously yesterday I just got so excited. I put it out there. I was fairly confident in what it was, but I need to explain my reasons as to why. I think it's important, right? So we're going to go over it and I'll give you my honest thoughts. But first, Anna Paulina Luna is back on the scene and it's all about the files, guys. All the files, not just the UFO files. There's also already some stuff that Anna Paulina's saying that completely relates to what I've been saying the last few weeks, and I'll touch on that at the end of this. So we're going to get into it, guys. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. We do need your support. Support the public's evidence. Support disclosure. Let's go. All right, WikiLeaks 1.0 says this. OMG, disclassification of federal secrets. JFK, RFK, Dr. MLK Jr., UAPs, USOs, the Epstein client list, the origins of COVID-19, 9/11. You wanted D-class? Here it is. Guys, this is all going to start coming about soon. Let's listen to what Anna Paulina Luna has got to say.
I'd like to hand it over to my esteemed colleague and chairman of the new task force, Congresswoman Luna, for her remarks.
Thank you, Chairman Comer. When our founding fathers stood against tyranny, they did not merely oppose taxes. They defended the sacred idea of individual sovereignty. They declared that no government, agency, or title could infringe upon the freedoms of speech, religion, thought, and the pursuit of truth. For too long, the American spirit has been dimmed by a veil of secrecy, by a government that has grown too comfortable in the shadows, denying us the transparency we deserve. But today, we stand at the dawn of a new era, where the light of truth begins to shine through. A few weeks ago, President Donald Trump made a historic announcement. With the stroke of a pen, he committed to declassifying the files concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a decision not just monumental, but pivotal. It is with profound honor that I have been entrusted by Speaker Mike Johnson and Chairman James Comer to lead the House Oversight Task Force on Declassification of Federal Secrets. Together with the help of the White House, our intelligence allies, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, we will be conducting investigations into the following: the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Dr. Martin Luther King, unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UAPs, unidentified submerged objects, also known as USOs, the Epstein client list, the origins of COVID-19, and the 9/11 files. This task force will be a beacon of bipartisanship. On the Republican side, Representatives Burchett, Boebert, Burleson, Crane, Gill, and Mace will be joining me, although I'd like to note that I'm expanding this to the entire governing body and will be allowing certain members to waive on. Our first hearing is set for March. The date will be announced soon, and we've already initiated close to a dozen communications with various agencies, to include Pam Bondi at the Department of Justice and the Secretary of State. This will no longer be a task force that makes bold promises only to fade into irrelevance or send strongly worded letters. This will be a relentless pursuit of truth and transparency, and we will not stop until the American people have the answers they deserve. We will cut through the bureaucracy, challenge the stonewalling, and ensure that the American people finally get the truth that they have been denied for too long.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, mate. I am so psyched about this, guys. This is awesome. All right, guys. So let's get into what she's actually mentioned. JFK, RFK, MLK Jr., UAPs, USOs, the Epstein client list, the origins of COVID, and 9/11. Guys, the fact that these things have been mentioned means that there are secrets to be told regarding those topics. And this is what I was talking about regarding Afghanistan and my mate passing from a war that didn't need to happen. The invasion of Afghanistan, from what I was told, was about artifacts, ancient artifacts in relation to ancient technology, guys. And that joins the USOs and UAPs together. I think there's more to this. I don't know exactly what it was, guys. I'm not too sure how much they're going to come up with. I really don't know. Probably not the whole truth, because it was the Americans that went in. And if they've taken something, they're not going to declare they've got a major weapon, right? I feel like that's something that's happened. I really do. So there's clearly things that need to be said regarding these topics. Really, really interesting. UAPs and USOs are a thing, 100%. The Epstein client list, as you all know, there's stuff hidden away in there that needs to come out, but I think it's all sort of combined with a lot of this. The origins of COVID-19, why it even happened in the first place. Guys, there are some things that are about to come out, some bombshells, and I just cannot wait. I just can't wait. This is it. Whatever happens during this disclosure, there are going to be many, many more questions asked. There are going to be some shocking findings, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is the beginning of the rollout, guys, so get involved. I really want to know your thoughts. We're going to go through this together, guys. Let's do it. All right, so let's go back to UAP Norway and that amazing capture from yesterday's video, right? So, again, thank you for sending it in. This is why we asked you guys to record the skies in the first place. You guys have, UAP Norway specifically has made a channel, did exactly what we asked. Make a channel, start recording, up your game. All the boxes ticked. Here are the results, guys. Fantastic. Some people have looked at it at a glance, not many, like one or two, and they said, surely that's a stick or something, right? I could guarantee you could throw a stick in the air 100 times and it will never look like this. And I think you'll agree with me when you see the full analysis now, for those that think it might be a stick. So Chris Carncross in Brisbane, Australia, he's actually tried to throw a stick into the air to see if he could get the same motion that Gordon gave. He couldn't get anywhere close, guys. Basically, when a heavy object is thrown into the air and the downward trajectory starts, there's no way in hell it goes back up unless it's a frisbee or something, right, and uses like the air to push itself back up along with its shape. There's no way in hell that a stick would make that movement anyway. So this is what I want to show you guys. It's just go through the movement, take you through why I'm fairly confident this is a UAP. But again, I could be wrong. I'm just 90% sure, right? So this is why it made the channel. This is why it's really compelling, because it's clear, crisp. We've got everything we want except for point of reference, you know. But when you're filming in a big open sky, very, very hard to get point of reference. I'll give you my opinion as to how far away I think it is, along with, you know, so we can get a rough size. But honestly, it's guesstimates at this point, right? So let's get into it. It's fan-flipping-tastic, isn't it? It's brilliant. Right, so look, guys, first of all, it's not going really, really fast. Okay, and I feel like I've captured this object going extremely fast, and we've captured it not going so fast. Okay, Chris Carncross, again, it was flowing at about this sort of pace in your garden, I believe. The one I captured was definitely going a lot quicker, a hell of a lot quicker. And it seemed a bit larger as well. So there's potential for these objects to exist at different sizes. I believe this is the white triangle that I captured, right? And you're only seeing the dark lines because it's side on at this point. It's quite flat to the camera. But as it comes in, guys, you can see. You see that movement there? How it comes in on its side? And it could be turning in this moment, right? There's no guarantees that it's actually like disappearing and reappearing here. It could actually be turning in the moment. The whiteness is blending in with the clouds, and therefore you can't make out the edges. This is why it's very difficult to sort of determine, guys. But you can see how it comes in. It's almost like boomeranged round, you know? But look at that. It does look triangular in shape. And, you know, it floats like a boomerang, guys. It really does float like a boomerang. That's all I can say. That's probably the best comparison I could give, to be honest, guys. UAP do look like boomerangs when they're flying through the air, like the elegance of them, the way that they move. They look so unconventional. But also, they travel a lot faster. Some of them, most of them are a lot bigger. Yeah. And most of the time, they're not alone as well. You know, so... also, if they're up high, we know they're not boomerang. There's that aspect to it as well. Now, I've captured, like I say, I've captured the same object from 200 yards away myself, live. You know, it came out from behind the tree line, which was 200 yards from my camera, and I was stood with my camera in my flat. So I know that these things exist. This is just a very, very, very clear image of one. And you can see here, guys, do you see this movement here? This here? The up and down movement? This is what I was talking about. Sticks, once they're on their way down, they don't come back up again. Anything that has any weight to it. But this thing, you can see, is gliding through like a boomerang, potentially. The only difference is, guys, you can't even see that the thing is turning. You know, I'll just overlay my clip now, guys, but you'll see in my clip, frame by frame, The object is facing different ways as it's zipping through the air, and it's going incredibly fast in my clip, and it's much larger. If you imagine this is 200 yards away from my camera, I've zoomed into like ×5 ×6, right? Not ×5, I think it was. And I managed to capture this, zooming across the trees, and then eventually 26 or 27 minutes later, it comes up from behind the trees and goes right up into the air. Same object, triangular in shape, looked like it had a white top and bottom, and extremely fast. Very similar movements to this clip, guys. Very, very similar. And then you've got Chris Carncross in Brisbane, Australia, who captures the darn thing, and the sun's reflecting of it. You can see the shape of it. It's the same darn object, guys. So, how many of these are around the world? Who knows? Honestly, we don't know. I would say there's quite a few. And these are just one type of craft, guys. I don't know whether they're earthly, whether they're to do with the earth, and this is just one aspect, or whether this is another type of non-human intelligence reconning the planet. I don't know. Who knows? This is what we've got a lot to learn, guys. We've got a lot to learn. I don't know whether these things are from here or from somewhere else. I've got a funny feeling they're from here, and this is just one aspect. The sources and other things that we're seeing in the skies, they're not necessarily all ours. Some of them are not from here. So that's where I'm at, guys. We've got a massive mixed bag, let me tell you. But once again, UAP Norway, thank you. I hope I've given people some clarity on this video. And if you've got any questions in the comments, let me know. In terms of size, and this is the only thing I can come up with now as a guesstimate, guys. In terms of size, I would say it's basketball size, guys. I would say that's basketball size. And this is just a guesstimate, right? I think if it's closer to the lens, that looks a hell of a lot bigger. But yeah, I think it's basketball in size. White top and bottom. The reason for that is it makes it very hard for us to track if it's above us, you know, very, very hard. And I don't think it's going at the speed that it can fly at. You know, the camera's been placed here. In fact, Jan, can you let me know? Can you let me know where you was during this time? Did you just leave the camera running and walk off, or was you actually here? Let me know in the comments. But I think it's fascinating. And I know there's wind being on the coastline. But if you look at the movement of this thing, it coincides with the wind. It's almost like the object is making the wind, you know? You can hear it change in the wind as this thing moves closer. It could just be random as well. It could be a gust of wind coming up at the camera and it hits the main part of the camera as this thing gets closer. But you know what? It's an odd coincidence as well. I wouldn't expect to hear velocity because this thing isn't travelling that fast, but it is travelling at a good pace. So who knows, guys? Who knows, really? I would probably put my money on it just being a gust of wind, but it just coincides really well with the object, doesn't it? So yeah, fantastic stuff. Look, guys, if you've got any other questions, ask me in the comments. I'll try and answer the best I can. There are some aspects of this clip that I can't answer. Size is just a guess. I think it's the size of a basketball. Do you know what I would love, though? I would love for someone to try different shaped boomerangs, throwing them in front of the camera and see what it looks like. I don't think it's going to look like this. This thing stays too straight, even though it makes those up and down movements, and you kind of see it turn at the first moment. You're not seeing the constant turning. Maybe because it's just perfectly flat in the moment. I don't know, guys. But for me, it's a real UAP. I've captured something similar. A few of us have now. Very unexplainable. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts, and we're going to leave it there. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Keep recording the skies. If you do so, phone sideways, 4-5% on the zoom. Don't go crazy. Make sure you're putting it in the sky as well. Give us something to look at, guys. You want to go for that gold, and make sure you email me, undercoveretuk@gmail.com. I'm going to keep you guys up to date as well with this disclosure. I feel like it's coming real soon. So, be prepared. Hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss out on this information. And we're going to go with disclosure together, guys. Hopefully, we get the information we need. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.